there. Hello, Academy families. Is anybody else have a big sigh of relief that this is all finally over? Because I don't know about you, but if your house is anything like ours, we are so thankful the school year is over. It's been very chaotic. It went better than I thought it would go, so that's good, I guess, right? But we are definitely glad that the school year is officially over. So I miss you guys. I haven't been able to see your faces in person in forever. So I figured I'd pop on here and kind of give you my end of the year charge via video. So yeah, last August, man, that feels so long ago. But last August, I welcomed you all onto campus and into the new school year with all kinds of high hopes. I had a plan in mind and I thought of how things were generally going to go and how they'd probably ultimately end. I knew that by around late October, most of you would have gotten into your consistent school to home routines and you would have been fairly settled into how the academy worked. I knew the books your kids were going to read and the classes they would take and the recitation pieces that they would perform and the lifelong friendships that they would have with their students and among the families. And guys, we managed all of that and so much more, which is really awesome. But as always, things happen that we can't control and we can't anticipate, and we just have no idea how on earth we got to where we are, right? So with that much being said, I couldn't even have anticipated the things that happened this year. So who would have thought that the end of the 2019-2020 school year would have ended inside of a shelter-in-place order? I mean, who would have thought that parents were going to be shouldering full-time school while managing jobs, careers, and households, and all within the restrictions of a stay-at-home order? Who on earth would have thought that you would have become an expert Zoom scheduling manager? I had no idea what Zoom even was before COVID-19. Oh man, I'm glad Zoom is over. Who would have known that there would be no kindergarten graduation, there would be no final recite night, and no spring program, and no end of the year parties? I mean, we couldn't have known any of that, right? There's all the things that we plan for and anticipate, even that could go wrong. And to be honest with you, a global pandemic wasn't even anywhere on the list of possibilities. So when I kind of think back through the last, 10, 11 weeks of shelter in place, three things came to mind that I wanted to share with you. And the first one is choose joy. I know we started out the gate as a school with this idea of choosing joy. And it's really, really easy to just jump into all the negative things about being stuck at home and shouldering all the schoolwork and just the weight of getting all the things finished. But in hard times, we get to choose our perspective, right? So we can't choose the fact that we're stuck at home and that we have to get all of the things accomplished and finished with very tight restrictions on where we can go and how we can kind of go about our lives. But we can choose how to respond to that. And so I challenge you guys to choose joy, right? So to choose joy amidst the chaos, joy amidst the difficulty, and joy amidst the uncertainty. So, and I also encourage you to train yourself, not just to look for joy, but to also be that agent of joy for yourself and for your family and those around you. And then the second thing is to have courage. So if ever there was a time for courage, it's now, right? And not necessarily because we need courage more now than we did before, but because I think right now it's more easily forgotten. So courage is doing what must be done with commitment and integrity when your resources are tapped out, right? We've all been there. The resources are done. They're tapped out. We have no more patience. We're being pushed to the absolute limit, right? And our initial reaction is not to have courage. It's usually to fight or to retreat or to run away. But guess what? I was so encouraged by the way that you guys showed up, the way that you demonstrated courage. So I saw courage in all of you when you were suddenly removed from your teachers and suddenly removed from your building, and you were forced into an independent setting and an independent life at home. I saw you living out courage as you survived the chaos and dignity completing your schoolwork. And I saw you exhibiting courage in your growth. I saw lots of you grieving losses over the school year, grieving losses in your personal lives, but yet you kept moving forward. So what we become accustomed to when it's easy, in the easy moments, when the stakes are minimal, it doesn't really matter. Those are the things that we carry over into times when things are really high, when the stakes are high and everything is tense. So we don't suddenly discover courage when we need it the most, right? So we have courage because, as Aristotle described it, we have it because we have habituated to practicing it. So what does that mean for COVID-19? So it means that we look at COVID-19 and we say to our kids, this right here is why in the normal, everyday workings of life, when things go exactly as planned, this is why we show up well, we do our best, we choose joy, and we work hard. Because there is going to come a day, we all know it, right? We've just experienced it. There is going to come a day when everything is turned upside down. And the only thing we can do is to fall back on what we already know. So we prep ourselves for the hard times during the good times. And the third thing I want to encourage you with is to walk in faith, right? So it's really easy, especially with all that's going on, to just mull over the unknowns and what if we have to do this, and I can't imagine what's going to happen with school, and we get kind of lost in all of these anxious thoughts, right? But we have to remember, we are people who walk by faith and not by sight. This doesn't mean it's blind, naive faith, right? Because that would be foolish. But it's a faith that's rooted in the greater purposes that God has for us as a school. So having faith in what God is doing here at the Classical Academy is not a guarantee that there will be no adversity and no disruptions, right? We kind of saw that this school year. But it does mean that we are committing to a greater vision of the Classical Academy that goes well beyond the next academic school year. It means that we band together, that we walk in faith, and that we help to sustain the growth and the depth of our school and our community, because we're committed to the education of your kids and we're committed to nurturing your family. Few investments have more potential than your kids' education. The way they see the world, the way they approach their life, and the depth of their character are all influenced by their education. And honestly, last week as I walked those empty hallways and empty classrooms of our school, I was like, I was struck with so much loss and so much sadness over just all the things that didn't get to end, right? All the things that didn't end the way that we wanted them to end. And that felt really heavy. But I instantly, that loss turned to gratitude. It turned to gratitude for all of you families and students who have just allowed me to be in this position where I can lead and shepherd our community. It's a responsibility that I take extremely seriously. And so I just want to thank you for giving me that opportunity. So you have all come through the gauntlet of COVID-19 schooling at home. And I'm sure you can probably all say it's not really necessarily something you want to do again. And if we have done our work rightly, I pray you have felt supported and challenged. And it's my sincerest hope that you grew academically, personally, and spiritually. And I also hope and pray that you will go forward into the summer and into the next school year with joy, with courage, and with commitment to a future that is way greater than the next school year. I love you all, and I'm really looking forward to August. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to get the new school year rolling, and I'm just really just super excited for all that God is going to do at the Classical Academy, not just in the coming school year, but in the years to come. So I hope you are well, and I hope you have a great summer. We'll see you soon. Bye.